while I am trying to set this camera up so that I can get all set up for y'all. But I wanted to come on today. Hopefully that's a good angle. Again, Rashida from Love It or Leave It podcast, which is typically streamed on Astrofluent Culture 8888. Again, that's Astrofluent Culture 8888. Just wanted to come on here today just to kind of give you guys a glimpse into my world. So I had posted a video yesterday about how I just released a new book, which is called Love's Art. So if this is your first time seeing me, please go check that video out as well. It's my debut novel. It's an urban romance, fictional book. And when I talked about the book yesterday, I shared with you just why I started and what led me to writing that book. And today I just felt compelled to share my experience with the writing process, as well as things that I have that I had tried along the way, and like was bumping my head. Like by the time I got the novel finished, it was like November of 2024, even though I started the book back in 21, like at the end of the year of 21. But anyhow, I was trying to figure out like why I kept hitting my head when I was trying to find out how to release the book. My initial thought was to go with Amazon KDP, but I didn't really know much about it. KDP is Kindle Direct Publishing. So I went with, I actually ended up going with KDP, but before I even submitted to KDP, I did try to find some other publishing houses. And I'm laughing at myself because what I thought versus what I found out on the process, two different things, okay? So I erroneously thought that, oh, well, you know, when you write a book, you can just go out to a publishing house and sign on with that company. They may, you know, give you some type of publishing deal where they can help you get your book copywritten, put it in, you know, after you submit the manuscript, if they really like it, they help you get it copywritten, and then they would publish the book for you, right, in mass quantities. And I soon discovered that you don't necessarily, at least in my experience, okay, there are probably tons of other people out there, thousands of authors who were able to go out and do that very thing. But just in the year of 25, that was not my experience in terms of trying to find a publishing house that did not upfront want me to give thousands of dollars. Okay, that was, or if it wasn't thousands of dollars, it was sign on to my publishing house, take courses to learn how to write the way that that specific publishing house wanted you to write, and write the kind of novels that they wanted you to write. And I was like, this sounds like too much like a job. Like, don't get me wrong, being a writer, yes, it takes work, okay? So that's not what I'm saying. I meant it was, for me, it felt like it was stifling the creativity. As an artist, when Kanye said, and I'm sensitive about my ish, or, you know, I'm sure there's other people who've said that. Actually, Erykah Badu said it first, from what I remember, and then I heard Kanye say it as well. But it's true. Like, I did not want to go into a publishing house that was going to mute my creativity so much so that I would feel like, is it me writing this? Is it you guys writing this? You know, and then it would feel like it was not authentic and true to who I am and my own writing style. So just a little background, if you didn't see the first video, and what I was, what I had become inspired by was a twin flame union that I had come into back in mid 21. And then it was something that was, an up and down, back and forth, all around the merry-go-round situation. But it opened my eyes to tap into really truly tap into my creativity. And so for that, I am so forever grateful for having that experience, even though it was difficult to go through, emotionally taxing, not necessarily physically at all, I should say, because it wasn't that kind of experience with the specific person, but you just never know when meeting someone what kind of interaction you'll have with them and what that interaction may ignite in you. And so for me, it was something that created this baby and this labor of love, which is Love's Art, the Bianca and Kenny love affair, which is also available on Amazon.com in ebook form as well as paperback. So yeah, and then just a little bit of news. I did get invited to a podcast that I will be going on next week, Thursday. So that's February 6th, to talk a little bit more about the book and what led me to wanting to write the book. So I will share the link to that specific podcast on this channel in the description of this video. But in the meantime, in between time, I did just want to come on and just kind of talk a little bit more about the KDP process. And it's something that I'm still learning. So please forgive me if it sounds very rudimentary, because it is. Like, I only have the very basics. And but I feel like it's dope because I'll be coming on to talk a little bit more about that process for my writers, out there who do want to self-publish. And I have seen on YouTube that there are other writers and publishers that sort of deter people from wanting to. I'm going to check my battery real quick. Sorry about that, guys, but I saw like my battery alert come on and I was like, listen, I hope my video didn't stop recording. And I'll charge it, when I'm done with this video. But anyway, so I saw other YouTube creators talk about the benefits of KDP, and I've also seen the other side of the coin, where there's people encouraging people not to use KDP. But for my all intents and purposes of this video, I will just talk about my experience with KDP that I've really enjoyed, and again, that's Kindle Direct Publishing, and so it's Amazon's publishing house that is available online. And so the benefits that, at least in my experience, one, for someone who has absolutely no funds at all available to pour into the beginning stages of submitting your manuscript and then getting the book printed, I would say it is perfect, for someone who just does not have the money at all. You can't even find a penny to use to actually put, any money into the project. It would be a good place to start, for one, because again, like when I was looking at other publishing companies, I mean, they were talking about thousands of dollars, like 18 grand, 20 grand. And I think a lot of that had to do with, one, big publishing houses are not really making a lot of money right now. So that is how they make money, from you as the author, giving them this big lump sum of money to produce your book, and to get, editors to edit your book, to get it printed, all of that jazz, right? So the money is coming from you putting the money in up front, and then the marketing that goes into that. And I've also learned that even that part is something in addition that some publishing companies want you to pay for. So it's like a 3-tier sort of a situation where you're like, oh, entry level, you submit your manuscript and you get to see if we like it enough for you to feel honored to come to our publishing company and get your book produced. It's like, what happened to the talent being the talent? It's just like record companies and these record executives, sort of stomping on the artist when the artist wants to sing a specific genre of music and they want to sing it in a certain way. And then you get all of the big people who kind of come in with their own creative ideas and what works for the masses, but then the art gets taken away from that, like the true essence of who you are as an artist. So that's just my little shtick when it came to going to a publishing company. And the things to look out for is that sometimes you feel like it's going to be, is going to produce something that will help you make money, but then you end up paying more money putting your money into it, and the project may not do as well, because you didn't buy that 3rd tier, which meant that you were going to get the marketing also, which doesn't really make sense, right? You're thinking publishing company, that's an automatic, but no. So that's my little soapbox about that. So I wound up going with KDP, which was my initial thought to do anyway. But what I didn't know was that, again, still learning, I didn't realize that when you put your book in Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, you get to get your book produced, and they only charge the cost of the printing per book that's printed. It's like on-demand printing. It is not this big, massive boatload of books that you order, and then you have to sell them. No, if you do not have the money to invest in that, and I'll get to what's called an author's copy in a second. But if you do not have money to invest in the cost of printing a boatload of books that you hopefully will sell, and like hustling books out of the back of your trunk, that's just a thought that came in, but like it just makes me think, like, you order this big massive order of books, and then there's no guarantee that you go to a Barnes and Nobles or your local bookstore and they'll sell your book, so you really have to kind of, at least when you're getting started, really find out a good strategy that's going to work for you, and work that strategy through. So for me, with putting my book on KDP, I did not have the capital to do a big publishing house, did not have the capital to order massive amounts of authors' copies, and then to thus go to other companies or bookstores to sell the book. So KDP was the way to go for me, especially as an author who's just newly starting out, and you just want to see how your book does. And so they allow you to have your book in several different formats. You can use ebook, so that would be a book available through Kindle or the Kindle app that you can download onto your phone. You don't even have to have a Kindle anymore. You can just download the app and you can read ebooks. And then paperback or hardcover. And then another layer to that is Audible. So the reader's version of the book. So somebody who maybe just want to be in the car, they're driving, they want to listen to an audiobook, Audible. Okay, first of all, I'm not even being paid. I feel like I'm being a spokesperson for Amazon, KDP at this point, but hey, it is what it is. But I'm just promoting it just because like it was the easiest way for me as a first time author to use it, and so that I didn't have to put any money out. I'm just gonna be honest. And I have seen other videos where they talk about, you know, you really have to invest in your business. I mean, writing a book is a business, right? And I agree with that, because you can, on KDP, you can order where you can do like spend ad revenue, where you're spending money, your own money, to put ads or to advertise the book, so to speak, right? Like your Amazon would put your book in places where it's more visible so that people would be inclined to actually read the book. And so that isn't something that I am doing as of yet. I'm just doing like their, you know, low level marketing that they already do if you sign up with KDP Select. So that's something that I'm already doing with them, the like low level marketing. But to really ramp up the book, you can do your own ad spending. And so that's something that, you know, at a later time I'll look at. I watched a couple videos by some other creators who talked about like reinvesting that money. Like, don't take any revenue for yourself. Reinvest the money back into your book by marketing it more so that it can reach larger audiences, so that can, you know, ramp up your sales on the books. So that's something that I'm actually gonna do. But in the meantime, in between time, the book is doing actually really well on KDP. There's a way that you can look in the KDP, like the author's bookshelf is what it's called, and you can look at your reports. So it's a day-to-day thing. Like you can see how many books you have sold that specific day, like in ebook format as well as paperback, hardcover. I don't have my book available on Audible. I'm gonna have to look at how to actually do that, whether it's I have to read it or if there's some sort of computer generated audio system that Amazon uses. I'm not quite sure. So I'm gonna look at that too. But I put the book out on January 15th, and it was on ebook, and then it was available the very next day, which was January 16th, in paperback format. So I'm going to look a little bit more into Audible to see how that process works. But another thing, again, no cost for you to actually put your book on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. No cost to you. For you to actually get the book printed. So the way that they set up their royalties is for the ebook version, you can set up your royalties just as long as you keep your book priced between $2.99 and $9.99. You can price it, you can get 70% of your royalties. For the paperback version, you can get 60%, up to 60% of your royalties if you're selling in the US, and then 40% of your royalties if you're selling elsewhere. But in addition to that, having the book available in physical form, whether paperback and or hardcover, the cost of the printing for that, based on your book size, is also deducted from how much you get back. So for my specific book, it's a 6x9 book, and it cost about $2 and change. I don't remember the exact. I think it's like $2.69, $2.49, something like that. So that's how much it costs to print the book. And so you want to factor in your pricing based on how much it's going to cost you to have that book printed, on top of however much revenue that you want to see from the sale of that book. So always factor in the cost of the printing when pricing your book. And then as far as author's copies, so I want to get into that. So I didn't know, y'all. And it sounds like I probably sound like an idiot, but again, it's all new to me. I did not know that there was a thing as such as author's copies, and that means through Amazon you can order up to 999 copies at a time. So that's one bundled order. You can order up to 999 copies just for you as the author, at only the cost of printing. Okay, so per book, I'm gonna just use a number that is we can handle, right? So $9.99, we'll round it up to 1,000, right? You can order 1,000 books. For this example, it's really $9.99, but anyway, you can order 1,000 books, and let's say the printing cost is just $2. So all you had to do is spend $2,000 total, order 1,000 books, and if you want to shop your book to other retailers and have them sell it, you could sell it for even more than it's available for on Amazon. That's just, if that's what you want to do, or you want to use those books to donate it, right? Like, so for instance, me going on this podcast, I ordered author's copies so that I could use it to give to the hosts of this podcast when I go on Thursday. So I think it's just a good way for us to us as authors to be able to market our material, keep a few copies on you when you're driving around. You may spark up a conversation with someone, and then you just may feel compelled to share your work. Give the book away for free, but have them tell 10 friends about it, or have them repost your link on Facebook and Instagram or wherever and say, I read this great book by, Joe Schmo, who I met at the Dollar Tree today. I got the book for free. I met the author of the book. And so I just think it's a good way to market, and really push the sales of your book, so I think it's just, KDP, baby. I'm loving it. And I just wanted to come on and share that little bit of information with you. And again, if I were home, currently waiting for my baby girl, she is getting her braces adjusted. And for those parents out there that have children with orthodontia issues, okay, and y'all know how much it breaks our pockets to be taking them to the orthodontist. But anyway, so I'm at her appointment right now, waiting for her. But I felt called to just come on and talk about the book process and KDP. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Feel free to share, subscribe to the channel, and catch me also on my sister's channel as well. Astrofluent Culture 8888, and that's ASTROFLUENTKULU. No, see, I done messed up the spelling. ASTROFLUENTKULTRU. Y'all, why is reading fundamental for me right now? Culture, it's spelled culture with a K. KULTURE. Good grief. Anyways, I hope I got it all right. Astrofluent Culture 8888. That's another YouTube channel that I'm on with my sister Chi Chi, and we do anything from pop culture to vlog. And my sister's actually doing some vlogging right now as well. So she's doing her own independent vlogging. And then, we talk about spirituality, talk about life, and ascension, all that good stuff on that channel as well. So please check out our podcast, Love It or Leave It, on that side of town. All right. Love y'all so much.